How's it going, everyone? And welcome to another video. Today we're looking at how all the different elemental effects look on each weapon in New World. But before we get into that, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. It helps out massively. Now, let's get into it. With the new Transmog system just around the corner, and a heavy emphasis on in-game fashion coming up, I figured there'd be no better time than now to put together a video displaying how each elemental effect will look on your weapon of choice. In New World, each variant of a certain weapon type will have the same glowing effect on it depending on which elemental gem is slotted into it. Therefore, even if the weapon may look different than yours in the video, the elemental glow will still look the same on your weapon. There are exceptions on certain skins, but if you have no skin on your weapon, this would be a great way for you to see how each elemental glow would look on your weapon without having to waste gold and go through the tedious process of slotting and unslotting every gem on your weapon. Previously, using these elemental gems wasn't done much because other perks were much better, but since the introduction of Rune Glass, these elemental gems have become very viable, so you can choose the one you find looks the coolest and still be competitive in endgame content. I have longer videos for each weapon specifically showing off how they look in combat and in different situations that will be linked in the video description if you'd like to see a bit more about your weapon of choice. Additionally, I'll set up timestamps on the video if you'd like to skip around and only look at the weapons you want to see. But with that all said, let's start off with my favorite looking weapon when it comes to elemental glows, and that's the Greatsword. It's hard to go wrong with the Greatsword. In my opinion, it sets the bar when it comes to good looking elemental effects, and I would love for AGS to go back and make the rest of the weapon effects look this good. Next up, we have the Great Axe. There's some really cool looking effects on this weapon, but I would like to see a bit more intensity added to a couple of the effects to make it stand out more, but by no means a bad looking weapon effect. After that, we move on to the bow. I'm a big fan of how the bow glow looks in New World. Plus the elemental gems also affect how the trail behind an arrow looks as it's shot, which is also pretty awesome. If you'd like to see these arrow trail effects and a more in-depth look at the bow, you can check out the bow video linked in the video description. Next up is the Hatchet. It's one of my least favorite looking weapons, but I can't say they did a bad job on the elemental glows. For how small of a weapon it is, they didn't skimp when it comes to glow intensity. Plus, when you do basic attacks with the Hatchet, the elemental glow that trails behind the weapon does look pretty awesome. After the Hatchet, we go to the Warhammer. This weapon probably has my second favorite elemental effects after the Greatsword, and they managed to have just enough intensity on the weapon. The only thing I feel like they missed out on is making the lightning effect a bit better. With so many fans of Marvel out there, having a cool looking lightning effect on a massive hammer could lead to some awesome Thor look-alike transmogs. From Warhammer, we go to Spear. Personally, I love how the spear looks, but I could see how some might wish for a bit more glow than just on the tip of the spear. Maybe giving the player the option to choose if they want the glow down the whole spear or just on the tip could be implemented in the future to further individualize a player's look. After that, we go to the Musket. For how simplistic looking the Musket usually is, I'm happy with how the elemental effects look on it. It's nothing outstanding, but it does look good enough, and I could definitely see some cool transmogs being made with this weapon. From the Musket, we go to the Sword&Shield. Unfortunately, the shield is yet to get its own elemental glow, so I wouldn't say this weapon set is amazing yet, but the sword glows alone are really awesome. I could see some really fun Jedi or Sith themed transmogs being made in the future with this weapon or the Rapier. Speaking of the Rapier, let's look at that next. A bit of a basic glow, but if paired with the right looking Rapier, I could see some cool Star Wars transmogs happening like previously mentioned. But overall, it's just a bit of a basic looking weapon, but that's just how the Rapier looks, simple and to the point. Next up is the Blunderbuss. As fun of a weapon as it is to play, I have yet to see any Blunderbuss models that I really like the look of, so I'm never that big of a fan of Transmogs that involve this weapon. That being said, for what they had to work with, I think the elemental glows aren't bad and do improve the look of a bit of a bland looking weapon. Hopefully with the new system coming in, they might add some cooler looking Blunderbuss skins to improve the look of this weapon. And finally, we have all the elemental weapons. Unfortunately, if you're a magic user, the elemental gems currently do not affect how the glows look on your weapon. I will still give you a quick look at how they all look, but Fire Staff will always glow fire, Ice Gauntlets will always be ice themed, Void Gauntlets will always have a void look, and the Life Staff will always have a green nature glow. Therefore, if you want to change up how your weapon looks as a magic user, you should resort to using weapon skins to do so, and maybe with the new Transmog system, there will be a way around this. But that about covers all weapons currently in New World. As new weapons are released, I'll put together part 2 to this video. Overall, there's some pretty nice elemental effects in New World, but I do think they missed the boat on a few of them. Lightning in particular. Ideally for me, with the new Transmog system, I'd like to see them go back and rework the glowing effects, and make everything a bit more intense of a glow, like how they do in other MMORPGs. But I may be in the minority. Let me know in the comments if you prefer a light glow effect on your weapon or an intense one. For me, the Greatsword looks awesome, and I would like the rest of the weapons to be brought up to that standard. And then maybe individually rework some effects that I think can be done better, like lightning. Also, adding shield elemental effects would be a great addition as well. When it comes to consistently the best looking effect, I would have to say Void takes the cake. But let me know which is your favorite effect overall. In most games, I usually go with fire, but in New World, I just don't enjoy how fire looks on a few of the weapons. Also, please drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel so you'll be notified when the next video goes live. But until next time, have a good one. Thanks for watching another video. If you'd like to see more New World content, then click on any of the videos on screen now. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.